And away we go. It is the Aftermath, brought to you by Galactic Fried Chicken, right here on BearcatJournal.com. Go see our good friends at Galactic Fried Chicken. They're located in Dayton, Kentucky, right down the street from Newport on the Levee. It's like 3 minutes down the road, easy to get to, centrally located. Stop by and see them. They've got the best fried chicken in the city. Love the fried chicken. Love the chicken tenders. I'm a big fan of the chicken dunkers myself. The Galactic sauce is out of this world. Go see them. They'll get you taken care of. Tell them Aaron sent you, and maybe they'll let you sit outside in the cold. I'm not sure. I don't know. All right, let's get this show on the road, Aaron. It is, boy, this one's frustrating.
Yep.
BYU wins 26-14. It's therapy time, but I don't even know how good at therapy I'm going to be. Like I everything that could go wrong did go wrong. This is 2 weeks in a row that I think that Cincinnati was at worst equal talent level to their opponent. This is 2 weeks in a row that Cincinnati has not gotten the job done, both at Nippert Stadium. You're now in a really, really rough situation when it comes to now you have to go to TCU and win if you're going to have any. I mean, I think for the most part, the fan base is probably going to be not fully bought in either way. But boy, you lose the TCU game next week and drop the last 4 games of the regular season after being 7-1 and undefeated in the conference. It's going to be hard to get people pulling in the same direction. Third down offense was bad. Kicking game was bad. Running the exact same play that you had already run on 4th and 1 earlier in the game was bad. There was a lot of bad, Aaron. There was a lot of bad. We got a lot of time here to get to it, but I'm gonna let you have your say here, and I'm gonna go while you're talking. I'm gonna go get my dog some food because he's been home alone for a long time, and he's gonna start barking. So, Aaron, take it away.
Sure. You lose a turnover battle again, creating no turnovers again. That's become the standard. And that's been frustrating. Especially I thought tonight, truthfully, I thought the defense played about as well as they could have played, considering the lumberjack of a human they had to bring down in LJ Miller, and Bear Bachmeyer for that matter. But you give up 265 yards rushing on 49 carries. You limited them pretty much to running. Let's
call a spade there. I don't think you limited them to running. I think you fucked up so much that all they had to do was run. They didn't have to throw. They give it to LJ Martin, and he gets 5-6 yards a pop every time he touches the football, and you can't get off the field.
Well, you didn't feel good.
Yeah.
You didn't feel good when you start off 3 and out, and then you turn over on your very next drive offensively. You turn it over on downs after a 72-yard drive.
Yeah.
You turn it up at like the 3-yard line. Then you miss a field. Then you miss a field goal. Then you score. Then you miss a field goal. And I gotta ask you, do you think it's worse to give up the bookend score before half and then give up the score at the beginning of the second half, or to give up the score and then get the ball and not do anything with it, and then get the ball and not do anything with it and give up a score? So you still get bookended, you just get humiliated in the middle.
Yeah. Yeah, you give up a field goal with 1:56 left. You get Aaron, I don't understand the fourth down. Sorsby runs for the first. You decide to sub and you take 20 seconds off the clock before you call a timeout because BYU did their sub game. Look, I don't fault BYU for that. Do I hate it? Absolutely. But it's in the rules. So if you're going to late sub or you're going to give them a chance to do what they did, it's your fault. It's your fault.
You could have just spiked it.
Even if you had 3 timeouts or 2 times, whatever at that point in time, call the time. You don't let 20 seconds run off the clock and then realize, oh, they're going to play the sub game and we probably should have called a timeout 20 seconds ago.
You could have kept all of your personnel in and just spiked it because the clock would have stopped until the chains were moved. Just get there and spike it.
I mean, I don't love wasting a down at that point. You had the timeouts, but that's semantics. Either or was a better option if we're going A, spike the ball, B, call the timeout right away so that you can sub and do what you want to do on first down, or C, sub, don't call timeout right away, and let BYU milk an additional 20 seconds off the clock. I will take A or B. Either one, fine. C, what the hell are we doing?
Yeah, I don't know.
Look, I will say this, Jameson. Yes, they ran the same play to LJ Martin over and over, and we couldn't stop it. That is a fucking monster of a human. He walked past me in the pregame. He looks like a defensive end. That dude is, yeah. It's very easy for us to all say we couldn't stop it. Jesus, that's a big human.
He was carrying at one point. He was carrying 4 or 5 Bearcats, just carrying them.
Yeah, and to be as athletic as he is, make the jump cuts that he did, to get back to the running lane, he's really, really good. But the problem is, Aaron, you knew that going in, and you knew the only thing you couldn't do is let them get a little bit of a lead and just hand the ball off to him over and over and over and over again. And what happened? You let them get a little bit of a lead. You had no answer for it. And that's who they are. We're going to milk you out and just run the ball 1,000 times. It's going to be death by 1,000 cuts, and they're perfectly okay with it.
Well, and they were without their top receiver for the second half. I don't know why you wouldn't have loaded the box a little bit more than what you did.
Look, I'm a Tyson Veit guy. I like this defense in this league if you have the right talent. The adjustments that haven't been made are stacking up. Continuing to play off coverage on 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, and just giving up 7, 8, 10 yards every time. It's the definition of fucking insanity. I'm cussing a lot tonight because I'm really tired. It's doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results. Get up on the guy, make them earn those 7 or 8 yards. Do not let the quarterback say hike, catch the ball, pause for 1 second, and throw it to somebody that's standing there wide open 2 yards past the sticks. That not changing 11 games into the season is maddening.
Well, about as maddening as people not turning around in coverage. Although there weren't enough passes
tonight.
There weren't enough passes tonight to complain about that tonight. So, in any case,
The defense isn't ass, Jared. That you're dumb if you think that. The best defense in the entire conference over the last decade has been this exact defense. But the way that they're playing it, the decisions that they're making should be questioned. It's not the scheme, it's the decisions within the scheme to continue allowing free release on 3rd and 6 for 8 yards. That's the part that should be questioned. That's why we question it.
Boy, you're in a mood.
They played bad football. They played terrible football. In every big situation, Aaron, in every opportunity that they had to make that a better game aesthetically, to make that a game where they had a chance to win, they blew it. They blew one of the best crowds I've seen at Nippert in my 20 years. Was it the best? I don't think they got a chance. I don't think we got a chance to find out if it was the best because they shat down their leg so frequently.
There was also an awful lot of blue there.
Yeah, but we knew that.
Sure,
and there was a ton of red and black.
Correct. My point is, I don't know if they would have been as loud as it would have been UC Houston, because I don't know that Houston, they don't go to their own games. They weren't coming up here, so you had an entire stadium of Cincinnati. That's all I'm saying. Just would have been, that one would have been louder than as much blue that was here.
Well, but that's always going to be the case unless the stadium sells out and nobody puts their tickets on the open market. You're dealing with, it's like Notre Dame, but just a different religion, right? There's people in the Midwest that are Mormons, and they don't get a chance to see BYU all that often.
Sure.
So they're going to come to the game. You know that. You know there's going to be a decent amount of BYU fans there. They had the entire soccer stadium rented out. You'll love this. This is a good one, Aaron. They had their own tailgate set up, the entire soccer stadium, right?
That's crazy.
Pretty impressive setup. You know what they were playing when I parked my car right next to the soccer stadium?
I don't.
Take a guess.
I don't know what. I have no idea. None.
You put your right foot in, you put your right foot out.
Are you kidding me?
Your right foot in and you shake it all about. They were doing the hokey pokey when we got there, yeah.
Are you kidding me?
I'm dead serious. You can ask my dad. We parked and we got out of the car to start the walk, and yeah, they were doing the hokey pokey.
It's strange.
It was so on brand. It was so on brand, but it was an impressive setup. I've never seen anybody do that before either. They literally rented out the entirety of the soccer field, the track, and had like 30 by 30 festival tents up and food and tables. Like they had their own ass tailgate at UC. It was impressive. Hats off to them.
Yeah. So I guess getting back to the bookend thing, you miss a field goal, then starting the second half, you throw that pick. That was horrendous.
It's terrible.
I don't know where he was throwing it to. Your next drive, you miss another field goal, third one of the night at that point. Then your next drive, you fumble it. So it was.
What was your
rough.
take on that? On the guy just jackknifing Cyrus Allen's ankle?
You mean the gator roll?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what he's supposed to do in that situation. Like RG3 on the broadcast was criticizing him for being more worried about being injured than protecting the ball, which was hilarious to me.
Shut the fuck up. I hate that guy.
That was hilarious to me. It was definitely a fumble as far as the rules of possession go. But again, I don't know what you're supposed to do when your ankle is getting rolled up under. I wasn't mad at him for it. It just is what it is. Like, you got your ankle rolled up under a player, and while being whirligigged to the ground.
You shouldn't be allowed to do that to somebody.
Probably not. If it was a quarterback, they probably would have gotten a flag.
It was definitely a fumble. I don't have a problem with that. It was a fumble. I thought that was the right call. I thought the ball came out before he was down. I just think the ball came out because the guy tried to gator roll his ankle.
Yep. So
yeah. I haven't mentioned this yet, Carson. This is it always feels like when Cincinnati just throws one down the field, there's like 3 people there. When the other team throws one down the field, like it just lands softly in an open field of grass. Like, you know the play he's talking about?
I do.
Where there's just nobody around. Or who was it? Golday gets his hand up and tips the ball straight up into the air.
Yep.
And it just lands softly in a beautiful field of lilies. There's never anybody around the ball. How's there never anybody around the ball?
Well, and you dropped an interception when I think this was the play, wasn't it?
Simeon Coleman dropped an interception.
Yeah, I think this was I think that's the one he's talking about when you had 3 guys there.
No, there was another one down the middle of the field that he just like Bachmeier just chucked and landed just softly in the middle of the field with like 3 DBs in the vicinity, but nobody within 4 or 5 yards to like have the ability to make the catch. It just softly landed. Was the Madoon pick 6 the only interception this year? I think so. I don't remember another one. I think so.
Maybe. I can't at this point. I can't remember another one. The other one McDoom had got called back. So
yeah. I don't know. The Joe Royer thing. I'm tired of the lip service. We got to find a way to get Joe the ball. If Joe Royer sued the University of Cincinnati for malpractice, I think I'd probably be okay with it.
2 targets, 13 yards.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that he's bracketed. I was watching him. I think we all were watching him at different points tonight. There was a time or two I did look and see him being bracketed. Sure. There were other times he was leaking out and there was no one around him, and Sorsby doesn't get through his checkdowns to look that way, or he immediately looks off of that way and just goes to the other side.
You can't continue to tell us we're going to find a way to get Joe the ball, and every week he has 1 or 2 targets.
Well,
like that.
We were told more plays, the ball would find him. You threw the ball 38 times. You only saw him open twice the whole game.
There were only 2 3-and-outs today. The first drive of each half. UC's first time touching the ball. They went 3-and-out, punted. And then the first drive of the second half, they had 3 plays. The third play was the arm punt. It wasn't 10 plays, 5 plays, 13 plays, 8 plays, 8 plays, 8 plays, 4 plays. There were plenty of plays. The ball did not find Joe Royer. I had a similar comment as well. The 4-yard check down on 3rd and 11. Like that's we're using Joe Royer for 4 yards on 3rd and 11. That's what we're doing.
Yep.
It's unacceptable. It's inexcusable. It's the D didn't get off the field on third downs early. They did a much better job throughout the game getting off, but I think they converted 6 of their first 8 third downs. BYU did, and then ended up 7 of 15. So one of the next 7. Cincinnati did a good job as the game wore on, getting off the field on third down defensively. But Aaron, Cincinnati went 4 of 13 on third down themselves, and at one point they were 1 for 10. So they did get their last 3. Good for them. But at one point they were 1 for 10.
You also went 3 of 4 on fourth downs.
Okay. It offsets it a little bit, but you went 1 for 10 on third down. Defense had their best game of the season. I don't know. It's up there, I guess, but without turnovers, like I'm exhausted by the bend but don't break.
Well, you also had the one play on fourth down. I guess that's probably more special teams than defense, but you end up jumping off sides and extend the drive.
No, Aaron, they did not jump off sides. What they did is even more infuriating. They lined up off sides. Like, I was having this conversation with my cousin Nick on the way home. I would be less mad if, like, somebody, like, they had a punt block on and they were coming to make a play and, like, somebody, like, gave it one of these and, like, they got him, right? I would be less mad about that than 4th and 3. You're struggling, but you're still in striking distance and you get an offsides penalty because you lined up offsides. What are we doing?
They also jumped early. Like two or 3 guys jumped early.
Okay. But it doesn't matter because there was a guy lined up offsides.
To answer your question, Jazzy, didn't BYU have 27 first downs? I'm showing 24.
Only 24.
A lot.
Only 24. But that's what happens when you're just running the ball for 6 yards a pop. Plus 4 straight senior days. Yeah. The fans begged for Nipp at night. The players begged for Nipp at night. They get a Nipp at night. The fans show out. I know I'm taking all kinds of heat today because for the first time since 2019, I thought the fans had a bad week. Last week against Arizona and last night against Louisville. The fans were awesome tonight. I compliment the fans all the goddamn time when they're great. Tonight, they were great. And this team didn't give them reason to carry that energy throughout the game.
No. God. Just the drive chart just drives me insane. I can't even.
They punted once, Aaron. They only punted once.
It's so bad.
How do you have?
They punted once on their first drive, 3 and out. That was it.
Yeah.
And it was a shitty punt. It was probably Max's worst punt. Maybe he had one that went off like the side of his foot earlier in the season. Maybe his second worst punt. Wasn't a good punt.
You had 9 possessions, not counting the end of the game. I mean, we can count the end of the game. They had 4 plays for 11 yards. You had 10 possessions. You punted once. You had 9 possessions. Like you said, the first one was the punt. Downs, missed field goal. Touchdown, missed field goal. Interception, missed field goal. Fumble, touchdown. It makes my head want to explode.
It's terrible.
3 wins to 5 wins to 7 wins. It's going to feel very hollow if they don't win at TCU.
I felt so bad that they put Jeff Caldwell out there in the after game pressers.
you got to put. I mean, who are you going to feel good for? He caught a touchdown pass. Like everybody they put up there in that situation, you're going to feel terrible for. There's not a single. I mean, Sorsby. We get Sorsby. I love that he'll stand up there and answer the questions and and you get a genuine feel from him on how it impacts him. But yeah, I mean, you had to put somebody up there. You weren't putting any of the running backs up there. Maybe if they put Joe Royer up there, we would have found him like Waldo.
There were people.
There's Joe.
I'm mad I didn't bring
Joe.
back. I'm mad I didn't bring back the milk carton joke this season before people on Twitter did with him, because I definitely saw people putting him on milk cart. Yeah, they were putting him on milk cartons. I won't even say stealing it. I didn't come up. I wasn't the inventor of the milk carton joke. Just mad people beat me to the punch this year.
Yeah, I mean that's Jazzy. That's a big part of the problem. Too many lack of. You can call it lack of discipline, lack of execution, whatever adjective you want to describe what happened. When the chips were on the table, Cincinnati didn't make the plays. When the game was in the balance, when there were plays to be made, when there were, there were 2 third downs early. The first drive, and then another one later. I think it was right before one of the review that they said didn't complete in time. Both of those balls, Sorsby throws a better ball. It's an easy catch. Both of those balls were catchable. Neither of them were caught. Like, somebody has to step up and do the thing, do the winning thing. And I don't count Utah because Utah's just a better roster than Cincinnati. Like, that's a better team than Cincinnati. I don't think watching that Arizona game, watching that BYU game, I did not get any sense, Aaron, that either of those teams were more talented than Cincinnati. You know what they did? They didn't make critical errors. When they needed a play, they made a play. When the chips were on the table, they got the job done. And when the chips were on the table, Cincinnati didn't. And that's why they lost both of these games. It was not for a lack of talent. It was not for not having the ability and wherewithal to win the football game. They did not make a play in either game.
I know I've seen people, I feel like Sorsby maybe even said it, saying that, Cincinnati beat themselves. BYU, like, essentially discrediting BYU beat them. Like, I don't want to say BYU did not beat them, because BYU beat them.
Make no mistake, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is one team had the chance to make winning plays and did. One team had a chance to make winning plays and didn't. And you hate to lose like that.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to make sure that we were both on the same page.
Yeah, I'm not saying they should have beat BYU. I'm saying the way the game played out, Cincinnati left a lot of chips on the table, and BYU took them.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, Silent Killer. Manny Covey's return, his punt return, was amazing.
Yeah, it was dangerous as shit.
Sure.
We've had those go wrong many, many times, playing it off the bounce. And he almost got tripped up right as soon as he grabbed the ball, but he escaped it and he made a play. He did the thing. Kudos to Manny Covey. He made a play.
And then he had that 37-yard catch late in the game. Was that on the touchdown drive, I think?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, it was on the touchdown, the long pass down the side.
Yeah.
Tonk, I don't put a lot of weight in this whole the November thing. Year one, they were fucking terrible. They were terrible. Last year
was bare.
Last year, really the only game I felt they should have won that they botched. Well, maybe two. They should have beat West Virginia. And I don't think TCU had any desire to be in Cincinnati last year. So I'll give you those two. But it's not that the teams don't get better. It's that the competition gets better. And Cincinnati's not been able to make the critical plays or avoid the costly mistake. The West Virginia game last year, Sorsby makes those two terrible throws that result in 14 points for West Virginia that completely flipped a game that Cincinnati should have won. Yeah, we talked about that, Leroy. 13 personnel just to sub and burn 10 seconds just to burn a timeout. If you're going to sub there, like Aaron and I just said earlier, you do one of two things. You get the first down, you immediately call timeout, or you get the first down, you run up to the line, and you spike the ball. What you don't do is neither. Doing neither makes no sense. None at all. None. And BYU gets the ball back. You're down a score, right? You're in position potentially to go win the game if you get a stop. And what happens? You know they're giving the ball to LJ Martin. You know it. And if he doesn't get it, Bear Bachmeier's going to have it, right? Dante Corleone's not on the field the first three plays. Were you saving him? Were you saving him? The safeties were 15 yards deep in their normal position. And you're running with a six-man box, knowing that a 6'3", 245-pound gorilla of a human being is going to come charging at you. And he's heavier than all the linebackers. LJ Martin's bigger than Jack Dingle.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Dude, he walked past me in the pregame, and I was just like, holy crap. Like, it was the exact opposite reaction I had to Fafito when he walked past me last week. And I almost thought he was going to be like, deplane. LJ Martin is huge. I mean, his thighs were the size of my head, and my head's fucking gigantic.
No argument here.
You're gonna go six in the box with your two safeties deep when you absolutely know they're going to be running the ball and trying to milk the clock and end the game?
Man. Cincinnati dominated again, though, in time of possession, 38-25 to 21-35. That's what happens when you lose turnover battles.
No, great, Bob. Do we know what Sank's injury was? No. I would guess shoulder up, an upper body injury, but I don't know that for sure. I saw him walking out with one of the doctors after they had changed him into his street clothes. He didn't have any braces or contraptions or anything on. So
was that on the Bach? Is that on that Bachmeier hit?
I think so.
Where his mouth guard flew about 17 feet into the air.
Yeah, I think so.
His mouth guard flew so much that the commentators stopped to talk about it. They thought it was LJ Martin's. It was not. No. They thought it was Bear Bachmeier's.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. No, it was Sank's.
Defensively, I mean, they did everything they could. Harrison had a good day. He, like somebody said, he's going to need an ice bath. They might have taken him straight to the practice facility to put him in an ice bath.
He's going to sleep tonight in the cryo chamber.
Yeah. He had 11 tackles, 9 solo. That's insane to have 9 solo tackles in a game.
Well, especially when you consider who he was tackling.
Yeah. Peak with 11 tackles, Golday with 9, Dingle with 9, McDoom with 8, Thompson with 6. Golday had 2 tackles for loss. Dingle and Sanks each had 1. Peak and Coleman split 1. Didn't have a tackle. Hate to see it on senior day. Dante Corleone didn't have a tackle.
He was in the backfield an awful lot early on.
Early on. Not as much as the game wore on.
4 pass breakups.
Yeah. I thought the DBs actually played about as well as they played all year. That's why I'm frustrated that they squandered so many opportunities and let BYU just hike, handoff. Like, I thought they were, if they would have put game pressure, converted field goals, didn't run the same damn play on 4th and 1 that they ran on 4th and 1 earlier. Like, BYU wasn't going to notice that you had Tyree Walker in the Wildcat. You're going to trick them on that one after you got it the first time? It didn't make a lot of sense to me. Yeah, I don't know. What, you got anything else?
No, like I said, I mean, I think the most frustrating thing about this game is the fact that, yes, BYU beat you, but it's because you could not get out of your own way.
Yeah.
All night. Not even just like once or twice. And if you're doing that, then you have to find ways to overcome that. And when you have every game, you finish with no turnovers, there's how else do you overcome it?
Aaron, it's not just, I mean, I know there was 1 or 2 today, but it feels like there's just no plays that are even turnover potential.
Like, they're all punching, trying to punch a ball out.
We got the softest punch outside of Peak. Nobody on this team can throw a punch.
They're trying.
They do a lot of this. The ball never moves.
Well, I mean, when you got LJ Martin almost holding McDoom by his head while running with him.
Yeah.
And he's just swinging his
Look like a little brother getting his butt.
Yeah.
Kicked. Yeah. It's that's my purse. I don't know you. For real. It's frustrating because it was there for the taking and they didn't do what they needed to do to take it. Like I was talking at halftime and there was a BYU guy like close to me. And it said very easily could be 20-10. And he's like, pfft. I was like, they missed 2 field goals and got stopped on 4th and 1 at the 2. So you can all you want. I'm not taking away from you. I'm saying the reality. It very well could be 20-10, but Cincinnati didn't take advantage of those opportunities to make it 20-10. So instead, it's 10-7, and BYU gets to stay in their comfort zone, and Cincinnati never gets to be in control of the game in any way, shape, or form the entire night.
Yeah. Like I said, you have to find ways to, we talk about this often.
All the time.
You have to find ways to make up for, if you're going to make mistakes, you have to find ways to make up for those mistakes. You have to find ways to win the hidden yardage game. You have to find ways to make your own luck. And unfortunately, that's not where this team is quite yet. It feels like they're still polishing up fundamentals. Things like tackling, things like catching the ball,
making field goals. I mean, I will give Sorsby and the passing offense credit. They had some life today. Wasn't enough. But, I mean, he completed 66% of his passes for 300 yards and a couple touchdowns.
Yeah.
It's a decent day in the office.
Against the dreaded man.
They played more zone. They played some man, but they played way more zone than Arizona and Utah did.
Because of how much they blitzed, it felt like.
Well, I just think that they don't have lockdown corners. They'll put them on an island occasionally, situationally, but Arizona and Utah are like, you know what? Those guys either make a play or they don't. We're living and dying with that.
I was going to say, if that's the 13th ranked pass efficiency, I wonder how much the ranking drop, like the numbers drop, is different between what we faced with Utah and Arizona versus BYU.
Yeah. Oh. What happened to the kicker? I'm going to ask about this week and see what kind of answer I get.
The third one, the broadcast called it. It was the setup was all bad. It was on Max Fletcher.
I know, but all 4 of his missed kicks have been from the left hash. Yeah. He's a left-footed kicker kicking from the left hash.
Yeah.
The bad exchange certainly was a big part of that third one. You could see when it was a low knuckleball.
Yeah.
But the other 2, and it's kicker 101, Aaron. He missed the one left.
So you tried to overcompensate.
So you overcompensate and you missed the next one right. But all 4 of his missed kicks have come from the left hash. Which I wonder, left-footed kicker, you're trying to draw?
Hook?
Yeah, I guess that would be a hook, right? A draw would be outside. Hook would be inside. You're trying to hook it. And didn't. Didn't know what? That all 3 were from the left hash? Or all 4 of his misses are from the left hash? I pointed it out on the first one in the Utah game, his first miss, because he looked uncomfortable kicking from that hash.
And I was watching for that all night tonight. I'm like, oh no! I saw as soon as he lined up, I was like, oh no!
That pissed me off on the third miss. They were on the right hash, and it was 3rd and 11. They threw that 4-yard play to Royer that we were talking about earlier and moved it all the way over to the left hash for a kicker that had missed his last 3 kicks from the left hash. Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, it's 2:00 in the morning.
It is 2:00 in the morning.
I don't have a whole lot else to say other than it's not good enough, man. Not Royer's charity check down. Could they have one of the really annoying field announcers scream into the mic about Royer's charity check down? That lone catch of the game was Joe Royer's charity check down. As a result, NovaCare will be donating $500 I can only imagine what things are going to be like 7 hours from now when Dave gets the microphone.
Yeah, I know that there's plenty of people pretty happy about their Cincinnati parlays that they placed on the weekend for 4 losses.
Yeah.
I hope that FC Cincinnati just wrecks everyone's parlays who felt it necessary to do that.
Leroy, Kelsey was asking me on the way home because, when things were going really good, she was hoping like Pop-Tarts Bowl. Like she was pretty excited about going to a bowl game this year. She's like, Dad, what bowl game are they really going to go to? I'm like, well, it depends on what happens next week. If they lose next week, we're not going to a bowl game because I'm not going to Shreveport, Louisiana, or Birmingham, Alabama this year. We'll find something else to do. No. All right. Well, thanks to everybody for tuning in. Sorry I had a potty mouth tonight, but
You did. My goodness.
it's my bad. It's my bad. Hey, everybody should be happy, Aaron. I didn't say anything negative about the fans tonight. You say something one time in 7 years. Fuck out of here. All right, that's going to do it. That's the Aftermath, brought to you by Galactic Fried Chicken. Right here on BearcatJournal.com.
See ya.